Back in the days when the great King Solomon ruled over the kingdom of Israel, his name rang throughout the East. The fame of his incredible wisdom, wealth and power over demons spread throughout the lands. However, there was one queen whose pride prevented her from bowing to Solomon's greatness. This was Balkis, ruler of the kingdom of Sheba in southern Arabia. Solomon, driven by his desire to convert the stubborn queen to the true faith, turned to dark forces for help. He summoned Asmodeus, a powerful demon of the underworld known for his charms and cunning. Asmodeus agreed to help the king, but he demanded a high price for his favor, half of his kingdom after Solomon's death. At night, while Balkis rested in her chambers, Asmodeus enveloped her palace in a haze of magical mist. When the morning wind dispersed the veil, the queen was horrified to discover that her magnificent palace had been moved to Jerusalem at the foot of the mountain on which Solomon's temple stood. An enraged Balkis stormed into Solomon's palace demanding an explanation. But instead of fury, she saw before her a serenely calm king sitting on his throne. Solomon addressed the queen with wise speeches, explaining to her the true way of faith and the meaning of life. The demonic charms of Asmodeus seemed to have prepared the ground, for the proud queen's heart began to soften. She listened to every word of Solomon, and her soul was filled with awe at his wisdom. Finally, Balkis knelt down and accepted the true faith from the hands of the great king. Asmodeus watched Solomon's triumph with admiration. The demon was amazed at how easily the king was able to humble Balkis' stubborn soul without resorting to cruelty and violence. That day Asmodeus realized the power of human wisdom. After Queen Balkis accepted Solomon's faith, she lived in Jerusalem for many months as his honored guest. In time, her admiration for the wise king grew into something more. She was attracted to his commanding presence, shrewd mind, and spiritual devotion. Solomon, too, fell in love with the exotic desert rose from the valley of Sheba. Her ardent spirit and sharp wit captivated him in a way he had never experienced before. An undeniable passion blossomed between them. However, their budding romance was threatened by the looming presence of Asmodeus. The insidious demon had helped Solomon only to take his soul after his death. Asmodeus hoped to turn Balkis against Solomon by sowing the seeds of distrust between the lovers. On warm nights, Asmodeus would appear to Balkis in her dreams in the form of a serpent and whisper dark desires in her ear. He tempted her with visions of power over a great empire stretching from Arabia to the Mediterranean if she turned her back on Solomon. But Balkis' bond with the wise king was deeper than Asmodeus had envisioned. Her growing love for Solomon made her immune to the demon's attempts to seduce her.